In the last 12 to 18 months, Ben Shalom and Boxer have created quite an impressive promotional business, but in the last 10 to 12 weeks, has he completely f***ed his reputation amongst boxing fans, fellow promoters, and more importantly, potential fighters to join his growing stable. Eddie Hearn has done a scathing interview with IFL TV, basically saying that Shalom doesn't know what he's doing and he's more or less never come across this before. They even went to visit Ipswich Town Football Club and had a conversation with the chairman to potentially hold the fight at Portman Road. Eddie Hearn more or less confirmed that it's a contractual requirement for a promoter to deliver a fight of this magnitude to his fighter, especially one that is mandated by the British Boxing Board of Control. I mean, it is a British heavyweight title fight, so God knows what went on here. You see a lot of people on social media saying that Frazier Clarke is also to blame, and that may be the case, but we don't know what was said to Frazier behind closed doors. But what I do know is Wardley went on TalkSport yesterday and confirmed that he and Frazier actually had a conversation the day before they pulled the plug from the purse bids, and there were rumblings then that he was going to be pulled out. Eddie and Fabio have also suggested that Frazier has been pretty gutted about this and, was almost brought to tears at the prospect of losing a fortune by not taking this fight. So, it begs the question, what was actually said to Frazier to stop this brilliant fight from happening and yet another excellent night of boxing robbed from British boxing fans? If we're to believe that Frazier really wanted this fight, then there can only be a few reasons why this has fallen through. Firstly, they don't believe Frazier can win this fight, which would be ridiculous because they're the ones that requested that it was mandated. Secondly, he couldn't bear to lose the purse bid to Matchroom. Frazier Clarke goes over to Zone, loses, and all the money invested into Frazier goes down to Swanee. So if we're to believe it's the second one, then I can only assume that he's offered Frazier the world in the next 12 months, maybe an improved contract with the promise of massive fights on the horizon. Or has he used strong arm tactics and told Frazier that he legally can't fight because he's under contract, which is probably the worst case scenario because that would completely destroy his credibility in the boxing circles. Whatever the situation is, it's been a real shit 3 months for Ben Shalom and Boxer. After the highs of signing Akoli and Boatsi, Akoli goes and stinks the place out against David Light and even has a point deducted for holding. A world champion having a point deducted for persistent holding is just not a great look. People leaving the stadium, it was a shambles. And Boatsi equally stunk the place out against Powell Stepien, claiming that he needed the rounds in the bag, but it wasn't a great spectacle. Neither of those fights were a great spectacle at all. And on the undercard of Boatsi, there was Ben Whittaker, another one of Ben Shalom's premium signings, paying him a fortune. And he seems to just be losing supporters by the day with his antics in and out the ring. Not sure hopping on one foot in the first round and twerking over your opponent you've just flattened is a good look and a way to win over new fans. I saw an article on him the other day calling him the Primark Naz. The Primark Naz, I mean, that's pretty insulting, isn't it? If I'm Ben, I'll stop trying to be like Naz, stop wearing his clothes and understand there'll only ever be one Prince Nassim Hamed. The bottom line is now, if I'm a fighter and I'm looking over at that situation with this purse bid and all the other stuff that's gone on, I'm now considering whether it's a good move to go over there and join Boxer and their growing stable. I guarantee you now that Frazier Clarke will be looking for a way out of his contract already. In the meanwhile, Eddie Hearn's probably sitting in Matchroom HQ laughing his arse off. Not at Fabio, obviously. He'll be upset for Fabio, but Akoli, Boatsi, Ben Whittaker, it's not working out well for Ben Shalom and Boxer with those three. Now, just imagine if Akoli loses to Chris Billam-Smith. Boatsi, who, fair to him, has called out Anthony Yard, loses to him, and Whittaker gets chinned in his 10th fight, then it really has gone to pot. So just to summarise, has Ben Shalom messed up his reputation and credibility amongst fighters, promoters and boxing fans? And will fighters now be looking at their stable in eagerness to get over there and fight on Sky? Let us know what you think. Answer in the comments. Like and subscribe. Share the vids with your friends. See you again soon.